Welcome to the house that Ross built. Welcome back.
Ready? All right,
Yep.
cool. Welcome to the house at Ross Built. Today we got a special guest, my man Damani. I've known Damani for quite a few years. We when I actually first moved to Houston, I was introduced to him by my aunt's neighbor. I think that's his family member, and that was what at least eight plus years ago. And
Yeah.
we've been rocking and rolling ever since then. He's a wholesaling specialist. Been doing wholesaling for many years. Whenever he gets properties, we try to work together. We try to do our own thing together. So I definitely wanted you to welcome my man Damani.
Hey, what's up, everybody? How y'all doing out there in the great wide world of internet?
What's going? How you feeling today?
Man, I ain't got no complaints, man. And I need to make some money. I wish you'd bought that deal from me.
Man, I wish I would too. I was actually trying to. I farmed it out to a couple other people yesterday to see if they want to partner up with me, but nobody was biting. I think everything going on with all the real estate and the uncertainty of what this government is doing is holding some folks back. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. It's funny. I had a couple investors say that to me. They were like, "Man, some of my go-to, like yourself, some of my go-to investors, like, man, I don't know right now, Damani." I'm like, deal, and everybody talk about, I don't know.
Yeah, we'll get it together though, bro. We'll get it right. We just gotta figure out some creative things because we can't wait on these folks, because they'll have us up in here bankrupt.
Right.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah. Waiting on them. Right. Right.
saying?
Right. That's for sure.
Yeah. So today we're gonna have Damani. He's like I said, a wholesaling specialist. We're gonna have him break down wholesaling a little bit. He won't be too much detail, but he'll get into some of the nooks and crannies and some of the specialist things that he does, and then we'll have him on here some other times, following up as we go through this year. Like we talked about, we're gonna do a lot with real estate this year. All right, brother. Whenever you're ready.
Well, a little bit about me. My name is Damani, and I'm a wholesaler who specializes in pre-foreclosure. And in wholesale, you gotta kind of pick your niche. You got different niches that you could get into, but you can't do them all well. So you got to figure out, whether you gonna do probate or whether you gonna cold call or text blast. However you gonna do it, you just got to figure out how you're gonna do it, and you're gonna get to it. And at the end of the day, what wholesaling is putting a piece of real estate under contract for less than its value, and then adding a little bit more to the contract you have and assigning that contract off to an end buyer who wants to close or buying whole or buying flip, whatever their exit strategy is. But basically, that's what wholesaling is.
All right, let's get into a little scenario. So just so everybody understands. So Damani, he finds properties that pre-foreclosure, they're going to foreclosure, bankruptcy, maybe even tax or something like that. At the end of the day, they can't afford to keep the house. So the money finds the homes, negotiates deals with the buyers. I mean, not the buyers, but negotiates a deal with the homeowner at the time. And then he has a list of investors. For myself in this scenario, he'd call me and say, Z, I got this deal. This is what I'm looking for. This is the situation. This is how fast we need to close. And what he does is send me over a contract. We agree on a price. And then what we do is when we go to the closing table, he makes whatever amount that he agreed to, that we agreed to, that he was going to make. I get the home, I purchase it for that price, and then I go in and flip it because that's my expertise. I flip. That kind of break it down to money. That's about
Yep.
accurate.
Yeah, that's spot on. You hit the nail on the head.
That's what's up. And so let's just background. How long you been doing it? How long you been wholesaling for?
Selling for maybe about 12 years.
Yeah, yeah. What do you think the most complicated part of a wholesaling process is?
Complicated part of my the way I do it is getting the property under contract. Getting in contact with a seller who has an issue that you have to solve. That's the hardest part of what I do.
Yeah, yeah. And then, I think when I talk to people that want to get into wholesaling or say they want to do wholesaling, that's the challenge they have. Is most people don't have that. They've never been taught that communication process where,
Mhm.
business is about selling. You know what I'm saying? And when you're going to look for a property, you got to sell. basically you're not actually selling something, but you're selling to them that, why should they give you the property, or why should they allow you to buy the property or put it under contract, whatever it is. But it's a sales process in place, right?
Yeah, it definitely, you definitely have to know how to quote unquote sell, because even a person that's in distress, you're still gonna have to convince them, or not even convince, just to show them that you have the solution for their problem.
That's I like that you said that, because at the end of the day, that's what you do. You provide solutions, and I feel the same way when I'm flipping houses. I'm providing solutions. I'm whether you find the house, or I get the house on my own, whatever. But most times these people, they can't afford the house, and Damani, he offers them some money so they don't lose the house, they don't mess their credit up, so on and so forth. So um, when you're doing wholesaling or real estate in general, you want to basically have the mindset that you're helping people. You're a solutions provider. You provide solutions. And would you agree with that, Damani?
It's definitely about the people. It ain't about the money, because if you don't make it about the people, and you bring in a value or valuable service to somebody who's in a tough situation, if it's all about the money, they're gonna smell that on you, and you won't get a deal. Trust me, you won't. Because a lot of times when I'm out here in the field, you hear people, because I do it the old-fashioned way. I go up to the house and talk to the people. I door knock them. And you'll hear people say stuff like, I don't want to sell my house, that kind of, or you'll hear people, other wholesalers will be at the front door trying to get a homeowner to sell their house at the front door. And it's like, you're gonna get the door slammed in your face every time, because these people are too attached to even begin to think about that kind of thing. So at the end of the day, it's about really bringing some value to a person that's in need. It's about the people. And you got to understand that you'll make money if you provide value to the people.
And that man, that's a good point, because I think a lot of times wholesalers get a bad name, and rightfully so, because a lot of them are all about the money. They're all about them. I've been in so many situations and deals that they convince the buyer a certain to agree on a certain price, knowing that they're making a bunch of money hand over foot, and they're basically taking away equity of the home from the actual owner of the home, because they want to make all the money. And then when they come to the investor, they want to jack the price up. So it doesn't leave a lot of room for us to make money. And that's why I like working with you. That's why we've got it along so well. That, like you said, you have a people mindset. Obviously, you want to make money as business, but we always can come to some type of agreement if it works. Where we can make that happen.
Yeah, 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 and we've done that on more than one occasion. Yeah, I think that deal we did a year or so ago, that it took forever. The property was in the courts. Most buyers would have walked away. And you didn't walk away, so that was value, and that that comes from just having a relationship with somebody like yourself, and knowing that, hey, look, man, I'm not. It ain't no funny business going on the background, and I was communicating that to you about everything was going on. So yeah, it definitely, it has to be a win-win-win between the person who's selling the house, the wholesaler, and then the end buyer like yourself, who's going to buy it and flip it. Because if it's nothing there for you on the back end, then it just don't make no sense, and everything kind of falls apart, because ultimately you provide the money that blows life into the transaction. So it just has to be a balance all the way across the board.
Yeah, man. And if you guys listen, he's dropping nuggets. So, end of the day, all businesses, but especially in real estate, it's about relationships. It's about relationships. And like he said a minute ago, when you're going in there just thinking about the dollar signs and the money, people smell that. They can see that. They can sense that. And a lot of times you'll kill the deal, or you'll kill, your ability to make the deal happen, because they're looking at, like, you trying to take advantage of them. Now, not all people. Some people get taken advantage of, like I said, in some wholesale deals. But like I said, we don't do business like that. And end of the day, money is money, but keeping those relationships and to be able to work with people, and help them out is what we try to do.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, it definitely has to be about the money, man. Not excuse me, not the money, about the people. Because you get caught up and see. And what I find now, because you can learn a lot about this real estate thing online. You got a lot of young people who are hungry for money, and ain't nothing wrong with wanting some money. But the thing is that you got to approach it in a whole different way, because when you rush it in there just on that money hungry, that greed, it'll never work, man. It's always gonna fall apart. If you really provide a service, or if you really help somebody, you'll make the money. Trust me.
Yeah.
You'll make the money. The deal will it'll kind of put itself together. If you're actually helping.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And like I said, at the end of the day, though, that's what builds a long-term business, having those relationships, making sure you're not doing people wrong. And like I said, we've been working together for 8+ years. So, Damani, you said a certain thing about, when you're working with the people and you're building that relationship. What's your approach? I know you said you knock on doors, which is a little older school. A lot of people don't do that nowadays. But what's your approach when you go to the door?
Just simply is that offer a homeowner help. When I get to their front door, I have a list of properties that are scheduled to be sold at auction. In this list, I'm running a route basically, and when I knock on the door, I just ask them if they need a hand. Quite honestly, it's nothing fancy. I'm not trying to sell anything. I ain't even talking about buying the house at the front door. That's not that. Matter of fact, I've trained myself to make sure I don't say anything about, yeah, we'll buy the house. I don't say that at the door. And even if they say, well, I'm interested in selling, even if they say that, because if you fall for that and jump right into that, then it's gonna turn into about the numbers, about the money. And you can't talk money until you understand what the problem is. And yeah, I'm there because it's a pre-foreclosure, but I have to know what the numbers look like to really assess the problem. So when I'm at the front door, I'm talking about, what's your plan? How do you plan on saving your home? What's your plan, man? That's how I come out.
Yeah. And that approach is the best approach, that I found as well for myself. And you had mentioned about, a lot nowadays, a lot of people, you got online courses and all this type of stuff. And me and you, when we a few years back, actually before COVID, we were teaching people this business in the library. We were giving this thing away for free. That just
Yep.
goes to show that, we trying to help our community. Obviously we want to make money. Everybody wants to make money, but at the end of the day, you can make money and help people at the same time.
For
And
sure.
a lot of these online courses, you find people that they just trying to make money, and they give you some a packet of information and tell you to go and figure it out.
Right.
And that's why you had taught it, and that's why I'm coming out with another course that's online that I'm putting together, that we can help people get in some of this real estate business, because we all gonna need some side money um, here in the near future, if not now. So I'm teaching people that. And obviously, it's going to cost a little bit for somebody to get involved in that, but it's not going to be very, very significant amount of money. But at the end of the
Right.
day, like Damani saying, we're trying to teach people.
Right. Yeah. See, what you got to come to understand is that, if I give you this business, I can tell you everything I know, you still won't understand it. So at some point, you're gonna have to have a conversation with me, especially if you're learning from me. Now, if you're one of them people who think they can sit down and digest and take it all in one fell swoop and run off and make them money, this is being unrealistic. So I can talk to you till I'm blue in the face, but experience tends to be the best teacher. And when you get when you get actually in a deal, there's so many things that can happen. You need somebody that you can go back, who been through the minefields, experienced the problem. So at the end of the day, you should want to learn from somebody who's already walked the walk until you master whatever skill you trying to master. That's where you should be mentally.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And you talked about mentally, and we talked about that many times. It's like you said, we can teach you all the technique, and that's what a lot of these people do online. They want to teach you techniques and so on and so forth. But mentally, when I teach you the thing, tell you everything, but you're not gonna really still understand how to go out and do it and make it happen.
Right.
Because it's more to it than just 1, 2, 3, 4 steps. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, it's a bunch of the road go this way, the road go that way, that kind of thing. And you just gotta you're going to learn it over time. It's unfortunately that the society that we live in, everything is microwave. We want it right now.
Yep.
And you can have it right now, but you're only going to be able to digest what you can understand right now. And then tomorrow there's going to be another lesson. I thank God that I've actually put in the work. I put in the time. So it appears to others when they're looking at me that it's easy. And it's like, well, you can say that, but every particular deal comes with its particular challenges, and you just have to have the skills and the wherewithal to solve those problems.
Yeah. Again, he said it again, problem solving, solutions. That's what we do as real estate people. So you definitely, if you're trying to get in this business or you're already in it, you're not being successful, you got to have that mindset. We provide solutions, we're helping people, and at the end of the day, we can make money doing that. Damani, so you were saying you do pre-foreclosures. Where do you find your list? How do you find the homes that you knock on?
The state of Texas, by law, there's a pre-foreclosure auction and a tax sale auction every first Tuesday of the month by law. And the place where I get my list from is a place called foreclosehouston.com. That's not foreclosure, but foreclose, FORECLOSE. Houston.com. And you can go in there and log on, create a profile. And then once you create a profile, you go in there and you'll select the counties that you're interested in working. And I just work the counties that I live in, because it's so much easier to do something in your backyard than it is to do 400 miles away. Not to say that virtual wholesaling can't be done, because people do it on a high level. I just find that when your skill set, you don't have the skills, you might want to start here before you take it up here, that kind of thing. So to answer your question, foreclosehouston.com.
Okay, that's what's up. And again, he keep dropping nuggets on y'all. Work in your area. If you trying to do wholesaling and stuff like that, work your area, because you're gonna feel more comfortable in your area. You know your area. Most times the demographics, people that look like you, can relate to you, so on and so forth. So that's the key right there. Work your area, and then as you grow, if you want to expand out, you can do that. But uh, most times, and if you live in a suburb area, you got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of homes right around you, and you ain't got to leave there. You can work them for months on months on months before you work every home in that area. And then what we know, and I'll let you attest to this, Damani, I believe that these deals, these foreclosures, so on and so forth, are going to become more rapidly over the next couple years. What do you think?
I think so, because that because of COVID, a lot of people got those programs, and they let people convince them that they didn't have to pay their mortgages while they were in that program, and now a lot of that is coming due. And they like, okay, well now you got to come up with all them back payments. So definitely, yeah, it's definitely going to increase, and you got inflation, people losing jobs, all kind of stuff, that kind of thing. So, but going back to what you said, man, I love the fact that I never have to leave my area, and it's like, if I want to make some more money, I'll maybe buy the next county's list out. But that's it. I ain't going outside. It's funny because like at the first of the year, it was a house that I have been paying attention to for years, just looking at it. And it was on my foreclosure list. And I was with my daughter, and I was like, I'm going to get that one, And I'm talking about, I went at it with ferocity. And what I mean by that, because I had to pass it coming in. Anytime I left my house, I had to pass it. Anytime I was coming home, I had to pass it. So all I did is every time I passed it, I paid attention, and I jumped out, and I either knocked on the door or I left a flyer. And finally, the young lady who owned the house called me, and I closed that deal on the 1st of Jan, or like not the first, but the first week of January, if I'm not mistaken.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
It's funny. I actually called you on that when you was out
Yeah.
of town.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. So I was saying I must have missed that one, but I
yeah.
know that feeling right there, and it's going to happen a lot. And what he said was, the key ingredient to what he said is every time he passed it, he would knock on the door or leave something there. So you're gonna see properties. Don't keep passing them by, keep passing them by. Go out and jump out and do some action because I've known, I've been looking at some properties, and I may have called, didn't follow up as much as I should have. And next thing you know, I see a dumpster out front and somebody rehabbing the joint. And I'm like, God dang. That's a hurtful feeling, especially as right in your own neighborhood. Yeah, but it happens. It happens. But that's something you gotta learn.
Right, right. Yeah, them ones right there hurt, like you show up and like, I can't tell you how many times I done showed up and I passed up a house and then I like, you know what, I'm gonna knock on the door and like, yeah, we sold it yesterday. I was like, oh my
That's a part of the business, though, y'all. That's a part of the business. But it hurt. It's a hurtful feeling for sure. You be kicking yourself. It was one down the street from me, right my own neighborhood that somebody had picked up, and I had called him a few times, and every time I called, she was like, "Nah, nah." But that so in sales and this business is all about the follow up. You got to
it
keep, like he said,
it
he
is.
kept knocking until she said, "Yeah."
It is. Look. If they on my block or they in my neighborhood, they gonna hate me because I'm almost stalkerish when you in my neighborhood. I'm be like, oh yeah. Every time I drive past that house, I'm not. And it's funny because the young lady, she had a video camera at her front door, and she said, "Man, you knock so much." I said, "I had to call the letter that you left and see what the hell you want."
See, that's how you got to do it. It's about that consistency, that repetition right there. That's what's up. That's what makes him, do what he do and have been able to do it for so long. Those are tips right there. Again, we can teach you all these little things, but until you actually out there doing it or you learn from somebody that's actually doing it, all those little programming courses where they give you some books, that ain't gonna help you. It's not gonna necessarily help you do what you got to do. Or if it helps, you're gonna bump your head a lot. You're
Oh
gonna bump
yeah.
your head a lot.
Oh yeah.
So that's what's up, man. And me and Damani, like I said, we've been doing this for a while, and we created that relationship where we've actually branched out and tried to do some other things. We've taught classes together. We're gonna have him on the podcast now, on a more regular basis. And the program that I'm gonna put together, I'm gonna have him guests come on and teach some people about some wholesaling. I know a little bit about it here or there, but like I said, Damani is definitely the expert because that's his niche. That's what he does all the time, every day. He ain't flipping houses, he ain't doing nothing. He wholesaling.
Like if they stay in construction.
Yeah, yeah, nah, bro. And it's getting harder and harder, especially with the situation we got where, especially here in Houston, they taking some of our workers away, bro. And some
Oh
of
yeah.
these workers are
Oh
scared,
yeah. Oh yeah.
That,
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah. Yeah, we definitely living in some interesting times, that kind of thing. Is like, man, look, these people working, man. What's your problem? Especially when, but that's me digressing. Especially when you understand that most of the people who are here are immigrants, including the ones who got the problem with the immigrants now. like the nerve of you.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. It's crazy. So, with that being said, Damani, he can show you another skill. He can show you another skill. We trying to show you some skills that you can pick up on. At least make the money where you can make it because what we talk about here. If you rely on a job and you rely on somebody else all the time, we can see now those times is getting a little scarce. So you
Uh,
want to pick up some skills, and every time we bring somebody on, they teach you a different type of skill that you can pick up. You got to grasp onto something because you got to put that future in your own hands. I mean, Damani, you ain't. When the last time you worked a job? It's been a minute, huh?
Yeah, it's been a minute, because but actually, I moved, I had moved out of state,
Yeah.
and I came back, in order to get my stability back. I mean, I actually had to jump down, and I worked a 9 to 5 for a small period of time, and it was funny, man, because I actually closed a couple of deals while I was there, and I was telling one of the guys that I was working with, because he was always complaining about money. And I was like, man, you need to find another way to make money outside of this 9 to 5. And then he was like what? So I showed him that I took a deal from start to finish. And I let him see me get paid off of it and everything. And he was like, well, oh, I didn't know you could do that. So, after I let him see me get paid the next day, I was like, you ready to start? And then he was like, well, that really ain't my thing. You know what I'm saying? And I couldn't think, it's like, when you're dealing with people, uh, you know, you're dealing with people who make excuses, every problem you solve, they'll have an excuse for why they can't solve the same problem. So it's like, it's like I ain't into twisting arms to getting people to do things for themselves, that kind of thing, and at the end of the day, it boils down to accountability. You are where you are in life because of you, whether that's good or bad. And until you can face that square on and say, the reason why I'm in whatever situation I'm in is because of me, then you're being delusional about what's going on, and you won't be able to fix that problem until you can look yourself in the face and say, hey, I'm the reason all this is happening to me. I got to fix this.
And he giving y'all the truth right there. He giving y'all the truth. And that's, we get into some of the ins and outs like real estate, stocks and all that. But at the end of the day, the brothers that I bring on here, we talking about outside of just, making some money or the specific, thing we do, wholesale and flipping, whatever. And what he's saying is that, and I dropped a little podcast a little while ago. Do you believe in God? Do you believe in yourself? I see a lot of people going to church every Sunday, but it's so many people right now that they're so scared, right? They're worried about what their future is going to look like. I mean, come on. If you can think, you can walk, you can create your own future. You can create your own future. You ain't gotta rely on somebody, wait on somebody. You worried about the government, you worried about all this. And that's what we face in our community.
Yeah. You got to take accountability. You talking about God, you talking about yourself.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if you see God outside of you, it's a problem. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Start within you and work your way out. Old school cat used to told me, he said, never look for, well, he said, never find without what you should be finding within, if you understand that. You know what I'm saying? It's all you, man. I'm talking about, it's absolutely all you.
Oh,
And once you kind of understand that, it all go to making sense for you, that kind of thing. And I love it, man. There's nobody to point fingers to. Point your finger to yourself. Get up in the morning and point the finger at yourself, like, yo, I'm gonna either be the reason my family eat or my family starve.
end of the day,
Yeah.
that's what it's about right there. And you were saying before, like you showed the brother that was working with you. You talking about making more money. I can show you right here, and I'm only speaking for our community because it's my community. I don't know other people outside our community because I guess they face the same issues. But for us, we behind the eight ball already. So if somebody show you something that you can make some money on, I mean, you gotta at least give it a try. You know what I'm saying? You gotta at least attempt. But that a lot of us talk, and what we call that is either you're a victim of circumstances or you can create your own circumstances. And unfortunately, especially nowadays, people are victim of circumstances. What the government did, what this, the economy, inflation, so on and so forth. Instead of making your circumstances work for you, whatever they are.
Man, I couldn't agree with you more. Everybody worried about what Donald Trump doing. And like Donald Trump doing things on a way grander scale that you can, not to say you couldn't approach it, but right now where most of us are, we ain't there. So he ain't even thinking about the little dollars we making.
Yeah.
So while they doing whatever they doing, you should be over here doing whatever you doing. I ain't thinking, man. I got a TV right here. You can't see it, but this thing ain't been on in weeks. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just like, for what? Do I want to pollute my thoughts with the thoughts of others? Do I want to let the TV program me? Nah, I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm never lonely. There's always something for me to do, that kind of
I
thing.
feel you.
And I'm like, I'm good, and I find things, I challenge myself at the end of the day. I challenge myself to be better, do better, and get whatever it is I'm supposed to have, and can't nobody keep me from it. Nobody.
Boom, that's it right there. That what he just said right there. That put everything in a nutshell right there. You know what I'm saying? Everything. And I learned when you were talking about TV, bro. I don't watch the news, right? Turn the damn news off, right? Turn it off. It's a brainwashing. It brainwashes you. You now you worried about Trump, what Trump did this time. I'll get so tired of people telling me what Trump did or didn't do. I don't give a damn. I'm out here trying to make money for me and my family and the people around me. I don't give a damn what these people doing. And that's the
You
mindset
right.
you need to have.
I'm with you. I am so with you. I don't give a damn what they doing. I know what I'm doing. Matter of fact, they better watch me because I'm doing my thing. You know
Yep,
what I'm saying?
that's right. That's right. And we do our thing too much. We might get some backlash because they don't want to see us succeed. But at this point, what they trying to do, it's at a way larger scale than a little peanuts that we making. You know what I'm saying? And so they not really worried about you. They gonna if they can take advantage of you, they will. But that's only if you let them. Right. Only time somebody can take advantage of you is if you let them. You know. So we don't try to get too deep. We try to, bring some hope and some sunshine to people and folks. But at the same time, you got to get slapped around a couple times so you can wake up. Our community, we got to wake up. We got to wake up.
Yeah. I agree with you, man. Too many of us are walking around here sleepwalking. I bug out how, every weekend you see the clubs are packed. I'm like, what are you celebrating? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? What's no, don't get me wrong. Smell the roses, have a great time in this life, that kind of thing. But like every weekend, it's like, what's the party for? What's the, for me, because I've been in the military and I'm talking about I party for 4 years straight while I was in the military. And it's like, okay, you've been to one party, you've been to all of them. You know what I'm saying? It's like at least have a reason to actually celebrate something. I'll be honest. I celebrate every time I close a deal.
I feel you.
I go do
Yeah.
something nice for myself. You know what I'm saying? I go snatch my daughter. We might just eat something. I'm gonna do something nice for myself because I deserve it. That
Learn.
kind of thing. So I'm not saying not celebrate. I'm saying not foolishly celebrate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not foolish, and they'll just be spending your money with over there, and when you could take that money and put it to work. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember when we were doing that in the library, man, I was so impressed with that. I hated, I really dislike the way COVID kind of shut that down on us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like, those investors was coming to us. It was just that thing was gonna really grow. I felt it. That kind of thing, and it was a real good feel, and I felt like I was a part of something big. So. To be back on here, I like okay, and it's funny to see how things have transitioned from then to now. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's like a shift where everybody was going into conference halls to do what we're doing now. Now you're just sitting on the computer and making it happen.
That's it. And him saying that again, when you're talking, you're hearing people and they trying to give you something. Think beyond what they saying. So and COVID was only a few years ago, how rapidly things have changed. And you talking about this new administration, you talking about all these different things. Things is about to change very quickly. And you could sit around and wait. And unfortunately, most people will. And then by the time it hits them, they're gonna be scrambling and trying to, just survive. When we trying to tell you right now, do something, prepare right now, read a book, you know what I'm saying? Learn a skill that you can control yourself and you can secure your family. You can help other people as well, help secure their family, help them eat, help them survive, help them, progress in this life.
Yeah. What's interesting, you asked me to do this podcast, right? And I had tinkered with TikTok and so forth and so on. But all of what you really have done for me, brother, and I'm gonna thank you right now while I'm face to face on this computer with you, is that you really pushed me forward. Like, go ahead and get yours out there. Go ahead and do it
Sure.
because I've been saying I was gonna do it, and I'm like, you know what? The brother say, come on this podcast. Like, okay, on your mark, get set, get out the blocks. I got to do it now. You don't really spark that for me, so I thank you for that, brother.
That's what's up. And I'm there for you, bro. It ain't that complicated. Whatever you need, I put you on. You already know, and then we can collab. You know what I'm saying? You got yours, I got mine. We come together like we doing now, and we can make it work. That's what it's about. And that in our community, we want to think, oh, he doing his thing, and we can't come together and both do our thing. We can do that. It ain't gonna. You ain't gonna take no money out of my pocket. I ain't gonna take no money out of your pocket. But everybody think, oh, if I help this cat or I do this with him, he gonna take away from me. Man, it's enough money for all of us to go around. Actually, in our community, we ain't getting none of that money. We just putting the money out there, people taking it from us.
Yeah, you hit that one on the head. You know, a lot of people tend to think it's either this or that. Well, and not only is it this or that, but it's and also it's a lot. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it's more than enough for everybody. You ain't got to think because I jumped into the podcast game because my brother led the way that I'm gonna take anything from him. You know what I'm saying? If anything, we gonna act synergetically and make it grow. You
That's
know,
right.
and we gonna push up off of each other, you know, that kind of thing. That's what it's about. That's what a lot of us have forgotten that needs to do because every other race of people do that. You know, they help each other. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, that's what I'm on with my people. You know, and this is no hate or no shot to anybody because when you busy loving yourself and your own, you ain't got time to hate nothing else. You
That's
know,
right.
that kind of thing. So I don't waste my time with hate. But I let my vibrational energy be depressed by the low vibration of hate. You know, don't waste your time like that.
Don't waste it. Don't waste it.
Right.
And that's a distraction. That's what they're doing now. They trying to get everybody to hate each other, divide, and all that type of stuff. Because they know if you separate folks, then they can control you. And that's what they're doing with the race and all that. Are they racist? Who, if they are, they are. If they aren't, they're not. I don't give a damn either way. But their strategy is what you need to understand is that they trying to divide people. They trying to make people fight each other. Why? So they can start wars, so they can take control of you and our community and these type of things because if we get together they can't stop us. They can't stop us. But that's one thing in our community we got to overcome. We got to start working together. We got to start working together.
And it's inevitable. It's like we've tried everything but that. You
That's
know,
right.
we done tried everything but unity. You know what I'm saying? So let's get this unity, let's get this unity a try. It's like, I'm talking about we've tried, and here's another thing. We've tried everything but love, man. What a lot of people fail to realize is love is the vehicle that makes the human experience operate most efficiently. Try to be angry talking about just having a conversation about love. Try to be angry. It's hard to do it. You can't do it. It's funny because like when I'm feeling bad, or what I'll do is I'll hop in my car and I'll put on some type of song about love. And one of my favorite is Shaka Khan got a song called "Everlasting Love." That kind
Yeah,
of thing.
yeah.
And I just play it, and it just changes my whole vibration. That kind of thing. And you know a lot of us from the hood, I'm from the hood, we think it's punkish to have a conversation around love. How can you be punkish to have a conversation around your very essence? What you fail to realize, but before you even took on this quote unquote body, you were love. You know what I'm saying? But that's a whole nother conversation, and we can go there too. We can have that conversation. And that's what you got to have, that kind of depth and range of your personality and your being. You got to be able to understand things outside of you, quit just thinking locally. There's a whole world here. You know what I'm saying? And it's reacting to you. Just make sure it reacts in a proper way. And the way you do that is you just lead with love, man. Quite honestly, lead with love.
That's it. That's it, man. I definitely appreciate you coming on. When I said it, you was like, "Show." You didn't even think about it twice. So, and this episode was just to bring you on, man, introduce you to the folks. Like I said, we're gonna have you on a regular basis, and then when you get your own kicked off, we're gonna shoot everybody towards that way. They want to learn that specific skill, wholesaling. Obviously, people come on our podcast. You're not gonna learn wholesaling. You're not gonna learn real estate in just one little 30-minute episode. It's going to take time. It's going to take some work on your own end. You know what I'm saying? It's going to take you keep listening and feed yourself. But the essence of any business or any success is up here. And that's what
Yeah.
we try to give you. Like, he a wholesaler, I'm a flipper, whatever. We got stock guys, we got all these people got. And every time you hear us talk, it's about up here. Because once you get this up here, you can do anything you want to do, you know? Anything you want to do. So,
Yeah.
brother, we ain't gonna hold them too long. Any last words you want to throw out there?
Yeah, like the brother said, yeah, you'll be able to learn about wholesaling and flipping through us. But more importantly, what you'll learn from me and my brother, you're gonna learn about character and integrity. The really thing that make business work. If you give your word, you keep your word. That kind of thing. So like I a couple minutes ago, I was speaking about love. Yeah, we're gonna teach you about business, you know, but you've been doing business all your life. You just ain't really kind of paid attention to it. Everything you do is about business, but it's all predicated on character, integrity, and just good values, that kind of thing. And once you bring that to the table, the business will fall in place.
Absolutely, bro. Appreciate that, man. He left y'all with something right there. So, like I said, look out. He gonna be on here multiple times, and as soon as he get it out here, as soon as he get his own podcast started, we're gonna bring him back on. He gonna drop all the information where you can find him and seek him out. You know, because again, we helping each other. But brother Damani, I appreciate you, brother, as always, and we'll talk to you soon. Peace.